And you always knew the bad news was coming with Todd, because he'd go, here's the thing. And he said, we're going to lose the orchestra in Dresden, and we have to do all of the conducting first. I do think there's a distinct lack of shame in society. And I think shame is very different to guilt. Guilt is very useless.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' alleged pattern of sidelining and overpowering colleagues in Hollywood didn't begin, and apparently won't end, with the Justin Baldoni situation. Now Cate Blanchett has stirred the pot with a blistering new interview that hints at far more. And when someone of Cate Blanchett's stature has a story to tell about Blake and Ryan, you know the reality could be deeper than anyone expected. This wasn't just a minor clash. Blake allegedly attempted to eclipse Cate's legacy. Some even claim she appropriated it, and when confronted, responded with icy indifference. But in classic Cate Blanchett style, there was no public outburst, no dramatic showdown. Instead, she stayed composed, observed quietly, and began crafting a calculated, understated response. And it appears she may ultimately be the one to challenge Blake and Ryan's reputation in a way no one else has managed. So let's break it down.
You know, it's sometimes good to be really simple. I mean, Matisse says this fantastic thing. It's just, don't try and be original. Just be simple.
Anyone familiar with Cate Blanchett knows her relationship with Chanel is practically iconic. For more than a decade, she has represented the brand as one of its defining faces. The collaboration thrives because Cate isn't simply another Hollywood actress. She represents elegance, cultural weight, and timeless refinement. Chanel's identity mirrors those qualities seamlessly. Over the years, Cate has attended exclusive fittings and graced couture showcases. In 2021, she secured a multi-season agreement to front Chanel's Women in Cinema initiative. As part of that project, Chanel commissioned a legacy short film penned by Cate's husband, Andrew Upton. The result was a restrained black and white piece featuring two women communicating purely through expression and movement. No dialogue, just visual storytelling at its most refined. Contracts were finalized. The project was approved. Everything was set in motion. But when the premiere moment arrived, an unexpected presence shifted the spotlight. Blake Lively.
All right, Blake Lively is out and about in the UK promoting her One Simple Favor, right? Is that the name? Yep, she's out. She's wearing this Chanel head-to-toe V. Here's the look in the runway.
This left fans stunned. What was Blake doing there? Where was Cate? Had the partnership collapsed? As it turns out, there was no fallout between Cate and Chanel. No creative clash. No quiet disagreement. Blake's sudden appearance was reportedly the result of deliberate maneuvering. Allegedly, someone from Chanel informed Cate's team that the campaign's direction had shifted, industry shorthand for "you're no longer part of the plan." Cate was blindsided. There had been no warning signs, no tension leading up to it. But everything clicked into place when Blake emerged as the campaign's new face. And here's the twist. The original concept wasn't even scrapped. Instead, it was lightly reworked. A touch of sparkle. A few motivational taglines. A bold red lip.
No, they're so look at these. They match my outfit. Look at those nails. Wow. Aren't they incredible? Those are amazing. I had time for that. I literally did it while at work. It was a little chaotic. It was worth it.
Even members of the backstage crew were reportedly shocked by Cate's replacement. One stylist allegedly leaked messages claiming Blake was never the original choice. Her team had presented a cross-platform package Chanel couldn't easily refuse. Still, removing Cate so abruptly? That was daring, maybe reckless. And that was only the start. According to insiders, Blake's team crafted a narrative positioning Cate as yesterday's icon, while Blake appeared as the modern reinvention poised to revitalize Chanel's image. In March 2023, Chanel hosted an exclusive private dinner in Paris, inviting a curated circle of legacy actresses, filmmakers, creatives, and longtime brand collaborators. Cate had confirmed attendance months earlier and was expected to preview her husband Andrew Upton's short film during the evening. Then, just 2 weeks before the event, Blake Lively was announced as the night's featured honoree. Cate's film quietly disappeared from the schedule, replaced by Blake's new vision, cross-platform storytelling blending beauty, film, and wellness. Many expected Cate to withdraw. She didn't. She arrived composed, dignified, head high. The evening progressed smoothly until it didn't. An insider claims Blake, seated nearby with a senior Chanel creative, was overheard remarking, "I just feel like I could bring something fresh to it. The script was beautiful, but maybe a little outdated, right?" The creative reportedly responded, "You mean Andrew's script? I didn't realize it was her husband's at first." Legacy doesn't exactly sell to Gen Z. Cate, seated only a few feet away, allegedly heard the exchange. She didn't react publicly. No confrontation. But those present say her expression shifted, restrained, but unmistakably wounded. Then came April 2023. Blake's Chanel and Netflix crossover campaign officially launched. However, Chanel's PR team had overlooked a feature article in a British fashion magazine that had been approved during Cate's tenure. The piece referenced Andrew Upton's short film and Cate's creative involvement. On April 16th, the article accidentally went live, unchanged. It remained published for just 3 hours, long enough for screenshots to circulate widely online. Social media erupted. Accusations surfaced, alleging Blake had co-opted Cate's legacy while attempting to bury the evidence. Cate never directly addressed the controversy. But weeks later, during an understated humanitarian award speech in Berlin, she delivered a pointed remark. Though the original recording has since been removed, attendees recall one line vividly. "There's a difference between honoring a story and claiming it as if it were always yours. One builds legacy. The other builds ego." The backlash against Blake intensified, and her PR team's defensive posture didn't help. By then, Blake's campaign momentum had begun to falter. A scheduled appearance on a popular YouTube fashion talk show was abruptly canceled. Officially, it was due to scheduling conflicts. Insiders suggested something else. Behind-the-scenes rehearsal footage leaked, revealing the host preparing to question Blake about the Cate controversy and the original campaign concept. That interview could have amplified the scandal dramatically. Canceling it avoided immediate damage, but the narrative had already shifted. Outside the interview circuit, public perception was turning. The polished image began to fracture. Meanwhile, Cate didn't retreat or orchestrate a theatrical comeback. She didn't scheme or retaliate publicly. She simply continued forward, stepping into her next project as if untouched, poised, and entirely unshaken.
About much. And the more I do, in a way, I think the less I know. And I've had a very eclectic and strange career that has taken me many places. But perhaps if there's any connective tissue in my career, it's the desire to know. It's the quest to unlock what it means to be human, that strange nub of fearful, joyful uncertainty that it is to be a human being. To live a creative life, it's fueled with uncertainty and doubt. It's the DNA of how you begin any project. You have to humble yourself and say, "I don't know, and I'm here to find out."
In June 2023, Cate Blanchett and her husband Andrew Upton quietly premiered an original two-person play at the Sydney Theatre Company. Andrew wrote the entire script, while Cate took the director's seat, but this wasn't a splashy, headline-chasing affair. They weren't plotting a comeback after the Chanel debacle. There was no PR build-up. Attendance was limited to a handful of theater enthusiasts and true cinephiles. Here's the intriguing part. The play's original title reportedly contained lines not meant for public credit. It was later updated to a version that insiders interpreted as subtle shade aimed at Blake Lively, a pointed nod to her alleged failure to recognize Cate's creative contribution despite attempting to overshadow her.
Well, I always approach every role as a woman because I am. I don't really think about that. I do think there's a distinct lack of shame in society at the moment. I think shame is very different to guilt. Guilt is a very useless emotion. I don't know what you do with that. But shame and regret and the lessons one can learn from that are, I think, are very powerful.
Cate handled the Blake and Chanel drama with a level of poise many other actresses either don't possess or can't afford. It was remarkable, especially considering Blake allegedly crossed the line by trying to bully and silence her. What many didn't realize is that this pattern wasn't new. Reports suggest Blake has a history of targeting co-stars and crew, attempting to steal the spotlight when others were meant to shine. Allegedly, she also made colleagues uncomfortable with off-color jokes. If the humor fell flat, she reportedly accused them of being uptight or humorless. A viral interview clip recently resurfaced, showcasing Blake making a particularly harsh joke about Leighton Meester. On screen, the two played best friends in Gossip Girl, but behind the scenes, the dynamic was very different. In the clip, Blake joked about Leighton being born in prison and compared other co-stars to monkeys in a cage.
There was an article recently saying that Leighton and I were frenemies. And it's
frenemies. Is that the new term? Frenemies?
Yeah, we're friends, but we're also enemies. And it's really strange because they always want to pit women against each other. You don't hear about like Penn and Chase hating each other and being jealous and competitive.
2 seconds later.
I think I'm just brunette because of the books.
And everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway. A moment by me.
Remember Savannah.
It was another promise was no pet monkey. Chuck has a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them. Come on, it was a joke. Lord have mercy.
Your wardrobe. That is important. Very good.
It's very important.
This is wardrobe.
This is wardrobe. This was on the return rack. I think it was hers. So I had to go and slip some cash to wear it today.
The joke was cruel, and body language made it clear that her co-stars were not amused. Yet, as usual, the incidents were brushed off as just Blake being Blake. However, it later emerged that Blake allegedly targeted Leighton throughout the Gossip Girl production. In 2017, executive producer Joshua Safran revealed tension on set, suggesting the clashes were due to contrasting personalities. But once the viral clip spread, fans could no longer dismiss Blake as merely quirky or playful. Other co-stars corroborated the narrative. Armie Hammer revealed that Blake acted like a diva on set, insisting everything go exactly as she wanted and throwing tantrums over minor inconveniences. During an interview with Andy Cohen, Armie described his experience working with Blake as traumatic, shedding light on why he ultimately left the show.
Hi, my question for Armie. On Gossip Girl, who was the biggest diva on set?
Biggest diva on set of Gossip Girl.
You can say it because it's so far away from where you are now. That show's over. I suggest that you do not pass on another question.
Thank you, Chelsea.
I wish I could take all of my passes back and use them all right now. Yeah. Let me just say, that was a tough show to film, and I didn't end up actually filming all of the episodes I was supposed to because it was such a tough film.
Really? Literally, you said, get me out of this.
It was also like, get him out of here. Yeah,
oh, really?
Yeah.
So it just literally was that. Whose love interest were you?
I was Blake Lively's love interest.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay, well then.
Sounds like she was the problem.
It sure does, Chelsea.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Don't put words into his mouth.
Yeah. Yes. Because my foot is already there.
No, it is not.
No, yeah, continue. Sorry, it's your show.
No, please, you continue. I'm interested in what you... No, I like it.
I need another drink.
Hey, Katie.
Hey, y'all are cracking me up.
And don't even get me started on the whispers circulating around Hollywood. When Blake allegedly dislikes someone, reports claim she ensures everyone else has a problem with him too. Take Penn Badgley, for example. Why did he reportedly struggle to fit into the Gossip Girl set? Insiders say from day one, Blake allegedly told directors and fellow cast members that Penn was difficult and shouldn't be trusted. It took weeks for Penn to break through the ice. And once the others got to know him, they realized he was nothing like the version Blake had painted. So when Justin Baldoni went public about Blake allegedly trying to edge him out of the director's chair, reactions were shock mixed with, well, that tracks. Reports claim Blake didn't just attempt to steal the spotlight. She allegedly rewrote parts of the script without his permission. And when Justin refused to follow her version, she supposedly threatened him, invoking her dragons, her close friend Taylor Swift, and her husband Ryan Reynolds as leverage.
We do have It Starts With Us, so I'm hoping to see you back in the double duty role.
I think there are better people for that one.
Justin.
I think Blake Lively's ready to direct. That's what I think.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Justin said he doesn't know if he'd be game to direct the next one, but perhaps Blake would. Is that something that you would entertain?
Oh, absolutely. I think that whoever decides to take charge of the next one would do it justice. But, it's a lot of people to get the same schedules together again, so we'll see.
Oh, absolutely. She's so capable of that. She is a powerhouse. She could do literally anything.
But the story doesn't stop there. Allegedly, Blake went behind Justin's back to lobby Colleen Hoover for the right to direct the next installment of the project, all before any lawsuits even surfaced. According to insiders, Justin's contract grants him the authority to direct and produce each film, but there's a catch. If he becomes involved in any scandal deemed morally compromising, for instance, a sexual assault case, he could lose his rights to the franchise entirely. When you put those pieces together, Blake allegedly trying to position herself as the next director reads as extremely questionable, to say the least. Meanwhile, Cate Blanchett reportedly stood firm, refusing to be pushed aside, especially by someone like Blake. So here's the question for you. Should Cate have handled it differently? And could this mark the beginning of Blake's downward trajectory in Hollywood, inching her career closer to the edge? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned for the next juicy chapter.